What's up, and welcome to another episode. Master Moats film session, and today we're going to be talking about young Joey Porter Jr. and, why he's ready to go ahead and be one of them starters out there on this defense. So, like we always do, man, I'm going to highlight them. We'll play in full speed, and after that, we'll break it down. But y'all make sure I hit that like button on the front end of this thing, and do not forget to subscribe. Y'all know how we rolling with this thing, man. Content. Let's get it. But yeah, this was the play, the splash, the moment with JPJ. Put his stamp on Steelers versus Ravens. And salute the homie. Salute him. Alrighty. But for JPJ right here, man, basic man-to-man coverage, single high safety kind of gives it away right here. More importantly, though, just where they're at in the field, right? They're super tight red in terms of being within the 10-yard line. So typically down here, you're either going to go, cover one or cover zero with some pressure, or you're going to do the 3-man rush and drop 8 guys into coverage. But like I said, man, looking at Joey's alignment, very, pressed up manner, not looking around for any other things. So that's another one of those indicators just for, the people out there looking for that type of stuff. But for JPJ, man, executes this thing flawlessly. In terms of understanding his assignment, he knows, okay, when you're in this position, you're either playing fade ball or you got the slant, right? And with the fade versus slant ball, along with back shoulder fade versus them throwing that thing top side, you got to decide, ahead of time what you're trying to take away. Are you trying to stay on top of this thing, or do you want to play it backside? Now, the thing that I enjoyed with JPJ was hand placement in terms of his press. Anybody that watched him at Penn State knew this was one of the big things on his tape, his ability to reroute. Some people even called him too handsy at times. But we're seeing at the NFL level where you can get away with some of this stuff within 5 yards. His game is actually looking pretty nice so far. Now, granted, this is still a small sample size, but with his reroute, he's able to stay on top of this thing. And when we talk about being in perfect position, I know Lamar missed on the throw to the inside, but even in his position right here, even if he tried to go back shoulder or if he tried to go top side, it was going to be very, very difficult for this pass to be completed, solely because of the body position that JPJ is in right now. And it all started because of the proper technique, man. Didn't do anything extraordinary, anything out the framework of, what he's capable of doing. No, he just detailed his work, used the proper hands, got his stab, got his reroute, stayed square on top of the route, eyes back on quarterback when he has contact with the receiver. And then from there, man, go high point this ball, make a play. Love it, though. Love it. And we'll get it one last time in full speed, and we'll go on to the next play because I got a couple other ones just to show you his versatility and coverage and some of the things that he's been able to do. But let's get it. So now with this play, we get a chance to see JPJ once again in press coverage, but now midfield. Very different mindset in terms of what routes you're expecting and ultimately how you have to play this in the sense of how much time I'm covering and the distance. So very, very unique scenario for him. But in this case right here, matched up once again with Odell Beckham Jr. Shout out to OBJ. Y'all know the type of player he is. Okay. But play this thing in full speed. Then after that, we'll talk about it. Nice little one robber on the backside. Shout out to Keanu Neal. Little pre-snap disguising. Let's get it. All right. And so for coverage wise, you heard me say one robber. All we're talking about are these two dudes on the backside, right? So they're giving you the illusion of a too high look, right? So initially, if you're looking at this, you might be thinking, man, I'm getting 2-man here, right? Be something like that. I'm thinking split safety coverage, middle field open. But you also see him lurking, and that's the one robber part when he inserts, and then we keep this safety back deep, okay? But regardless of either of those situations, for JPJ, he's press man once again. And the thing that I like is this, man. Technique and fundamentals. Starts with his stance, man. Hands ready to go, balanced stance, eyes on his work, all right? Not looking around, not doing a whole bunch of Hollywood and walking up and down. You know how it goes, man. Some guys, they do too much of the window dressing and not enough of the actual execution. But for him, man, it was 0 window dressing, all execution, which I am completely fine with, baby. But as we get this thing rolling, for Young Peasy, hands, right? That's one of the names of his game. He likes to get hands on receivers. And look at what he does. Odell tries to give him a little bit of hands and stutter off of the line. Peasy Jr., though, 2 hands on Odell. That's a reroute. Beautiful. Sticking with it, not pulling, not grabbing, but make it a physical release. That's what you want to see at this level. Now you got to run with him. Looks like you're giving you a corner route. Then he breaks it off and turns it into a post. And this is obviously, very, very tough when they start getting out there, hitting them backyard, backyard routes, stuff like that, man. That's where you look at that rush and say, hey, guys, I need y'all to come through. But obviously, Keanu Neal took care of business. But to me, man, like I said, I just enjoyed the fact that, number one, he has a slight outside leverage because he knows he has a low hole defender. He has a safety robbing inside. So any in-breaking routes, he's going to be protected on. So don't get beat to your leverage side and be competitive away from your leverage. He's not going to get beat to his leverage side right there. That's perfect. If Lamar wanted to challenge him, he's going to play right through Odell's hands and ultimately make a nice play on this ball. When Odell goes to break it back, he knows he still has this middle field safety right here. So even when Odell goes from the corner and then turns it back to the post, he's running to a middle field safety. Okay. So even with all of that included, talk about a guy that's, like I said, man, showing that he can cover both in the tight red like we showed, where it's fade ball, slant ball, back shoulder, back pylon, those mindsets. Now you see him out here middle of the field where you have the full repertoire, for the route tree and stuff like that, man. So definitely was impressive, but those were 2 situations where he was pressed up. So I got to show you one where he has to play off. So don't touch that dial, baby. All right, so on this play, we get a chance to see our version of cover 0. We know, obviously, that was talked about a lot with Kenny Pickett, George Pickens' go-ahead score last week. The cover 0 element, whenever you're in 0, you're going to get it one or 2 ways, right? These DBs either going to be playing off with a lot of cushion or they're going to be playing up and aggressive. Either way, yeah, it's going to be something exciting happening, man. Let's play it in full speed real quick. Let me circle up young JPJ at the bottom of the screen right here. Like a little cover 0, baby. A little cover 0 says something gonna happen right now. It's either pass or fail. All right, no in between on cover 0, baby. No in between. But the thing that I like is this. So we talked about the different ways to play cover 0. You can be extremely aggressive and press this thing and say, you know what, man, the ball has to come out fast, has to come out now. I'm going to try to take this away, but you obviously potentially give up the shot play, right? That's what offenses have started to evolve to versus the all-out blitz. But then the other alternative is you play off coverage and now you got big vision, right? Big vision on anything that's breaking, and I'm going to be super aggressive on it because I know that, man, this ball has to come out. It's not a lot of time for double moves just because you're doing a simple numbers game. It's 5 guys up here, 6 guys if you're including the running back, and you're always saying that I'm going to bring 1 extra guy. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and Pat P right here makes the 7th guy that's in this rush. So with that information, look at JPJ's depth. Now, also on top of this is a possession down. I believe the first down was at the 30-yard line. So I like the fact that in terms of his pre-snap alignment, he's aligned at what we call sticks depth, but he's 1 yard shallow of the actual depth because you want to influence these guys on offense to, shut their routes down a little bit shallow so that way if they do catch you, tackle it, you still getting off the field. So all those little details are there. And then when you look at this part right here, big vision. He's seeing quarterback and he's seeing man right here. This is beautiful. This is all the technique that you want, man. When we talk about getting young guys on the field, I need to see all of these little details before you're completely comfortable putting them out there. But from here, he's patient, not pedaling out of this thing, trusting his depth, trusting his fundamentals, but big vision. He is locked in on Lamar, and if Lamar decides to throw anything right now, JPJ is ready to break on that. I also love that, hey, ball is actually released. Now he's actually ready to make a break, and he does too. Now, granted, miscommunication on the insert part between Lamar and Zay Flowers, depending on how they were reading it, what they were trying to accomplish here. But for JPJ, excellent in terms of vision, in terms of alignment, and the break. If that ball was going to 7, JPJ is either picking it or it's going to be a big time collision, bang, bang play. But I love those little techniques. I love those little details associated with his work. This is why he is ready to be on this field. This is why he is ultimately ready, like I said, to be a starter out there on this defense, man. And yes, he can tackle. We already know that, baby. But you guys let me know your thoughts on JPJ and what you've been seeing thus far. And if you think it's time for him to go ahead and be starting out there on that defense. But either way, you know I appreciate you for tuning in. And until next time, baby, peace.